like,
as long as you can hear me, I think we're golden. But I was up so late last night, so my brain is just a touch foggy. Oh, I see us live on our thing, so that's
do
great.
you? Okay, I was gonna test it, but you got it. Good.
Yeah, I did. I see it. So let me do this. I'm going to share this to the page, and then I'm also going to make sure that it's going to your page too.
Yeah, the Michelle Ariana, the Empower one. Do you need the handle for that one?
Sure.
It should be
Yeah,
at
buddy.
Michelle Ariana 11.
Drop that real quick in the messenger, and while we are pushing through the technical parts of what we're doing, everyone else can kind of come on board. We have a few viewers already because it's Saturday and no one's doing anything on Saturday. They're just watching their kids. Did I show you? Look at this. Okay. This is my life book, and I did this thing before where I had just tons of all of my visions, all of the stuff that I did, and I used colors. I was so proud of myself. So I have 4 different colors for the 4 different parts that I went deep into all of my stuff. But
love it
later. For my crew and the folks that are on with us right now, I wanted to say welcome on a Saturday morning. I'm coming to you from Carlsbad, and Michelle's back in Denver. I miss my peeps. But I just wanted to take a quick second and introduce one of, you've really quickly become one of my dearest, closest friends, you and Dave, over the last month and a half or something.
I know, right? February.
Oh, so crazy. And we used what we're actually going to talk about to kind of bring each other into each other's lives through the power of very beautiful, intentional, focused direction and attention towards what we wanted, which some people would call manifesting. Some people would call super directed attention, but I believe it is a combination of faith and manifestation. And you do this beautiful thing where you're bringing them all together. But I wanted to introduce my girl, my sister from another mister, Michele Ariana, the founder of the Empower Network and one of my dear, dear friends. And I just am so thankful that we can do this before I take off on a little jet set to an incredible trip that I get to make. So thanks for joining me, their love. Hey, Dustin. Hey, Jeff. We've got Zen on the line. But welcome to, I guess we should just do this all the time. Is what I'm thinking. But yeah, go and do your magic, girl. I'm here to support and facilitate questions and things for folks that have them. And yeah, it's just such an honor and a pleasure to be able to share this time with you. So without further ado, Michele Ariana.
Yay! Thanks for the introduction, Sammy. Hey, everyone. Happy Saturday or whatever day you might be coming to us live. I know we have people all around the world joining, so time zones. But as Sammy mentioned, my name is Michele Ariana. I am the founder of a company called Empower Your Life, and I'm the host of Empower TV, a YouTube channel that I'm launching. I'm super passionate about dreams and reaching goals and living your heart's desires and living your potential. And to me, it's just always been, not always, for the past 10 years since I've come into this body of work, it's lit my soul on fire. I'm a life coach, success coach, personal, I'll do one-on-one coaching, do group coaching. I got into inspirational speaking, and it changed my life 10 years ago when I started learning how to use the power of your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, and your inspired actions to actually create amazing life-changing results in your life. So if you're someone sitting there right now thinking gosh, there's this burning desire I have in my soul to reach this dream. Maybe it's a relationship that I desire to attract. Maybe it's more money. Maybe I have a calling in my soul that is itching, and maybe the job I'm at right now or the career I'm at or the business I'm in is not super fulfilling. Maybe I'm just starting out as a performer and I want to reach the masses because I have a big message, or you want to touch people's lives. as evolved performers, many of you joining to our evolved performers and leading a life of light and love and sharing your message. So if you're sitting there, maybe you want to better your health. If you're sitting there today listening, watching this, whether it's live or recording, and you just want to be able to take the next step, to really focus your attention and your energy and your mindset on what you desire, then this is what we're going to cover today. I'm going to be going over the 6 steps to manifesting more money, more love, more success, more health, more wealth, whatever it may be in your life, more clarity. In 6 steps, by the end of this session, by the end of this call, you're going to have a clear plan. As Sammy mentioned, we're into this manifesting stuff. And for those who don't know what manifesting is, another way to say it is creating into your life, attracting things into your life, being the deliberate creator, owning, empowering who you are with your power of your choice and your ability to create, and actually with deliberate intention bringing things into your life. So that's what manifesting is. It doesn't have to be woo-woo as some people may perceive it, although I am total woo-woo. I call myself a spiritual scientist and a soul strategist. I'm both. I have realized that you can harness the power of your mind and the laws of the universe to actually deliberately create what you want. I've done it when I hit a big dream of becoming a pro NFL cheerleader. I had no dance or cheer experience growing up. And in my late 20s, I decided that I wanted to hit a lifelong goal of becoming an NFL cheerleader with 0 experience. It took me 3 years to build the confidence, 3 years to then finally pursue that dream. But it was my mindset and my action steps that got that. And so
yeah, that transformation was incredible. I love looking back on kind of where you were then and what you kind of blossomed into going through that process too. Is there a way that a lot of the single guys that are on here can also become a cheerleader?
I'm not sure what the NFL might be moving towards that. I'm not sure. But as a performer myself, I get it. Like I get where a lot of you might be, whether you're just starting out and having a desire to perform to larger audiences or learn the skill set. I mean, I had 0 performance experience.
That's so amazing.
In 3 years, I became an evolved performer. Like I'm living what Sammy has created and what you all are now stepping into. Or if you're on the performing journey, you've been a seasoned performer and you're taking it to the next level. Just like Sammy, I mean, you had been a performer and then you up-leveled in a major way with JT, with Richard Branson, with Yannick Silver, like you started Mind Valley. I mean, you elevated, but there was a frequency to that. Yeah. There was a mindset to that. So this same technique that I'm about to share with you all, the 6 steps to manifesting anything you want from a place of ease and flow, is what I use to become an NFL cheerleader, performer. It's what I use to manifest my soulmate, my twin flame partner.
Hi, Dave. I know you're there.
Dave's on somewhere. Hi, Dave. It's what I use to manifest my new condo, new soul family and friends, how I manifested Sammy in my life, and all the amazing friends that he brought along with that. It's the same technique. So,
yeah, and I know we did this. We have a mastermind for those of you guys who are just connecting, and we did this yesterday in our mastermind, and it was so good. I was like, we have to do this again. This is just ridiculous. I needed 2 pens, as they say. I was like, I need 2 pens. My pen's on fire. So I love it. Thank you so much. Yes, but I just think this is so useful for folks, like you said, that are really going towards or moving towards the evolution or the evolved part of their life. You know, whether you're just like really wanting to switch gears in career, whether you're wanting to enhance a family relationship, whether you're really like looking just to bring in new streams of income, abundance in any way that you're looking. So I just love this. And I know it seems super what we like to call woo-woo or what have you, but I believe that in the future, don't you, Michele, that this is actually going to be a measurable science in a way.
Oh, absolutely. It already is. I mean, it's incredible the science that's out there when you start talking, because what I'm going to dive into with you guys is about thought. And thought's the highest form of frequency. Frequency, energy can be measured. And there's tons of studies out there on how they would take subjects, a person, and measure the thought frequency that they were thinking towards an object. And then they measured the frequency, the energetic frequency of the object, and it changed when someone thought a different thought about it. So it's interesting. There's tons of, I told you, I'm a spiritual scientist. I'm a soul strategist. I'm left-brained and right-brained, right? I had to be. Like, for those of you out there, who are new to this type of body of work, we call it law of attraction. We call it deliberate creation. It's success training. All the great successful people on the planet either do this deliberately or they have had mentors that help them train their brain. It's brain training. But you're also harnessing the power of your energy, which is your thoughts and your feelings. So we talk about manifesting 101. We talked about this yesterday, Sammy. In its bare essence, manifesting or attracting or creating things deliberately in your life are 3 steps. You think a thought that you want, use your consciousness to decide what you want, decision. You focus on it with an emotion, feeling. So think about as if you plant a seed in the ground. You're planting the seed. The seed is your thought or your desire or the decision you're making about what you want. You plant the seed and then you water it with emotion. Because emotion has intensity. There's frequency behind it. How you feel is not just arbitrary. A lot of times people are made fun of because they're overly emotional people, or actually your emotions are pretty amazing. So if you've ever been told that you're over emotional, I would invite you to allow yourself to release that belief, because your emotions are very powerful once you learn how to direct them.
They're the emotional guidance system. I love.
Totally. Your emotions will tell you in any given moment, if something feels good and in alignment, your emotions will indicate that. You'll feel good when you think about a thought. If you're thinking a thought and you feel crappy, that's a good indication that you're not in alignment. Your frequency, what you desire, your dream, your goal, whatever you desire, and the belief or thoughts you have about it are not in harmony. Therefore, it can't manifest or come into your life, or you experience that. So you think a thought, you water it with emotion, and then oddly enough, you let it go. You let go of the attachment to it, and you go put yourself in a state. Tony Robbins talks a lot about emotional state. You can deliberately change your state of being, how you feel at any given moment. It's not magic. It's you being empowered. So we'll talk about that. But any questions so far? Any comments or anything you wanted to?
Just got a bunch of amazing fam in here. I got Arzel and Dr. Dan and all sorts of big time manifestors that are already in our crew watching. So welcome on a Saturday.
I'm looking
up. It's great. Yeah, just people just kind of floating in. We have like a 10-second lag between us in real time talk and then as the comments come. So they're posting pictures and comments as we go. So we'll just kind of host this thing,
I love it. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm thinking, just so we don't keep the audience waiting, why don't I just deliver the 6 steps and then I can dive in? Because I don't like things dragging on either. So, okay, guys. So if you're out there wanting to create something in your life, take yourself to the next level, up-level who you are, become the next greatest version and grandest vision of yourself, have the family you dream of, the money you want, the career you want, the impact that you want, the health you want, whatever it is. These are the 6 steps that I have found that I use continuously. My twin flame soulmate partner, Dave, and I, we use this process continuously. And it's simple. I'm going to lay it out and then I'll explain it. So the first step is accept where you are at in this moment. Whatever you're growing through or whatever's going on in your life or whatever's causing you to desire more, allow yourself to accept where you're at. What I mean by acceptance, I mean fierce compassion and kindness for yourself and your situation, how far you've come, like be in total acceptance of it, okay? Step 2, acknowledge the contrast or the clarity that's coming up through situations. Now, what I mean by that is contrast. In life, you wouldn't know what high was if you didn't experience low. You wouldn't know sad if you didn't experience happy. This is what's called duality. You wouldn't know fast if you didn't know slow. All these things are the same thing. They're just different levels on a scale. Hot and cold. You wouldn't know the essence of being cold If you didn't experience hot, it's the same, it's temperature, it's the same thing on a scale, okay? So that's what's duality. When you're experiencing challenge in your life, right? Let's say you don't have enough money, or you're struggling in your health, or you're sick and tired of the crappy relationships that, or dates you keep manifesting or whatever. We call that. What'd you say? What'd you think, Sammy? Just get a download?
I was like, oh, yes.
Well, that happens a lot with my clients, with audience members that I talk to, clients that they do, like, a lot of people struggle in the relationship area. They get a lot of contrast. What I mean by that is a lot of comparison to go, this is challenging to me. I don't like that. Or, you know what? I like this. I love this. This is actually really supportive.
Totally.
So the contrast is just showing you it's not a bad thing. Contrast is good in your life. So anytime we start cursing the challenges or the struggles or the preferences that are revealing themselves, we want to just take a step back and acknowledge the contrast is there to give you clarity. That's the best gift you could get out of all that. So that's step 2. Acknowledge whatever challenge might be going on. When you're acknowledging this, take a step to write down what you don't prefer. I do it in pencil. I don't like to put things in concrete ink. If I'm writing something down, I don't want just to get it off my chest. I usually write in pencil or black ink. When I write my dreams down, I write it in blue ink or colored ink. I mean, I've got all these different colored pens here because I'm writing my dreams down all the time. But we'll dive into that a little bit. Just acknowledge the contrast or the challenges for the clarity that they're giving you. Step 3 in manifesting anything you want is now you want to get clear about your aim, your target, what you desire. What is it that you actually want? You can do this in 2 ways. You can go general with it. If you're not super clear, let's say maybe you've been struggling in the dating realm and you haven't really been manifesting or attracting dates and partners that really resonate with you. You could be fed up and I don't even know what I want now because I'm so marred with confusion. You can be general with what you write down. You could say, you know what? I desire a partner who I'm in harmony with, who I love, who loves me back, where we have immense respect and passion and the sex is amazing and we're rocking it out in our businesses. You could be general. Or maybe you've had enough contrast or challenge where you clearly know, and here's something else you would like to say. You want to tweak this. This will help you in manifesting. Instead of saying, I want, it's good to have that acknowledgement, but take it a step up and say, I choose. It's way more empowering because now you are being the deliberate creator. You're saying, okay, I choose this in my reality. I choose to have this. So just a slight tweak, but it'll be more empowering. Your words dictate the thoughts that you think, which then create the emotions and feelings that you have, which then create your results. And
I love that because I love the I choose over the I want. I always thought that was an amazing one.
Because I want kind of sounds, and it's not a bad thing. So you got to start where you're at. Sometimes you're like, I just want peace. It's totally cool. But you got to get clear. But I want kind of sounds like the little kid that's throwing a tantrum. I want it now. I want it now.
I feel like when you come from I want, it comes from a bit of a place of lack. If you want, it becomes that you're not appreciating what you already have. And so I think the I choose was really powerful yesterday when we did this. I was like, oh yeah, I do choose this. I'm choosing to take my focus off of said such thing and focus it on something that I want more. Actually, see, I did it again, but I choose to change my focus. So yeah,
because
really
when
powerful.
you choose, it signals to your brain. It's a different level of leading, and you all are in leadership, right? Yeah. You're all leading your own lives, and I think that's what an evolved performer does. You're a leader. You're out there. I call us light leaders. It's like we're light workers, but now we've elevated to light leaders. You're evolved performers. Part of that is leading, but how do you lead the masses? You lead yourself first. And so having just these slight tweaks in semantics, and people will start to catch on. You'll start tweaking your semantics, your wording, and then people will be like, huh. I don't say I'm going through something. I say I'm growing through something. Because I know on the other side of it, it's going to be better than I can imagine. I have to grow. We're all growing. So instead of saying I want, I say I choose. It's just little tips to kind of add to your repertoire.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so aim. Get clear about what you want. You could be general. You could be specific. I was very specific when I was manifesting my divine partner. I had gotten a divorce. I was with an amazing soulmate partner, loved my husband, we were together 7 years, and then we grew apart, and that was okay. I had to release judgment, guilt, whatever I had on myself, but I needed to accept where I was at, love myself fearlessly, and end the situation. I had to acknowledge the contrast. There were things I loved about the relationship and my past partnerships, and then there were things I didn't. So I had to gain clarity and acknowledge, here's what I do want as a result of that clarity. And then I got clear about my aim, so I was very specific. Okay, so write down your aim. And what I like to do, I don't have that book, but I like to have a fun journal. Like this says the say yes to new adventures. I have another journal that has love, something to do with love on it. Like find something that's like a fun journal that feels juicy and just like lights you up, or makes you feel empowered, or makes you feel wealthy. Like have a journal that you can process these manifestations in, right? So that's where I would write down your aim and just get clear. Okay. Step 4. Go ahead. Question?
Oh, no, that's perfect. I love it.
Step 4, align. So the 4th step to manifesting anything you want is now it's time for you to come into alignment and get clear about the alignment you're going to feel. When I say alignment, I mean how you feel. The feeling where your desire and your belief about your desire match, which is going to be a feeling. So, and Sammy, side note, if people have questions, just stop me, because I'm not looking at the comments. So,
oh yeah, I'll definitely let you know when they do. They're just popping on. Hey,
okay.
buddy. Hey, Corey. Hey, Chris.
Hi, everyone. So glad you could join us. Okay, so alignment. I love alignment. It sounds kind of like a woo word, like, oh, I'm in alignment. But really, alignment just means you are in a state of harmony with how you feel about your desire or what you're wanting to attract or manifest. For example, if you're wanting to manifest a gig of like 1,000 people, let's say some of these performers want to attract audiences of 1,000 to 10,000 people, but maybe they've only played for 50 people. Well, maybe the desire is like a large audience, but they're like, oh, but I don't know if it's possible. I haven't done it yet. Who's gonna hire me? That's not in alignment with the bigger dream, right? So what you want to do to come into alignment is you want to identify the feelings you think you're going to feel when you have the thing you want to manifest, when you have the goal, the dream, the desire, the relationship, the money, the career, the health, the business of your dreams, the impact you want to create. How will that feel? Does that make sense?
Oh, so, yeah, it's all the feels. It's all the feels.
All the feels, yeah. So when I was manifesting my twin flame or my soulmate, I wrote down, after I wrote down my aim, kind of like the specifics of what I desired. And by the way, put that in the positive. If you want someone who's healthy and is active, don't say, I choose someone who doesn't smoke. I choose someone who's not lazy. Don't put it in the negative. Switch your semantics to formulate. This is going to cause your brain to think differently. And that's a good thing. Like this is a brain training exercise, and it's an energetic, deliberate tool to manifest and create what you want. So you're doing both. You're tuning your frequency, your energy, and your feelings while you're also training your brain. So you want to make sure you don't phrase your choices in the negative. Because here's the deal. The laws of the universe, law of attraction, the way energy works, the way your mind works, and I'll get into the science in a minute, is that when whatever you focus on, that's what you're going to pay more attention to. That's what the law of attraction or magnetics, the magnetics in the universe, how science shows things are magnetic by nature. You're going to attract more of what you're putting a focus on. From a science side, you have an area in your brain called the reticular activating system, your RAS for short. And your RAS is amazing. It modulates your sleep cycles and it controls what you focus on. And the way it controls what you focus on is by what you tell it. So you consciously tell your brain, focus on this. And the way you do that is by what you're telling yourself. So if you're saying things like, oh, I'm so tired of not making enough money, or oh, I don't know if it's possible, or man, I'm really sick and tired of dating people who are lazy or who aren't, you know what I mean? That's what your brain is like, okay, they're saying only focus on this. So that's literally your brain takes in billions of bits of data. This is the way to help you focus and operate in the world. So if you're telling yourself things, then that's what it's going to focus on. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, and I think a great example of the reticular activating system is the one example that we always use is if you get a new car, or let's say you ride in a Tesla one day, and then all of a sudden your unconscious mind just starts seeing Teslas everywhere. They start seeing the car that you just purchased, or you start noticing the same things. That's your reticular activating system at play
Exactly.
very immediately. And it just goes deep into the subconscious because your subconscious mind takes in, you know, billions of things a minute. They liken it to, it's like your senses here can take in 1 to 2 megabytes worth of information is what they liken it to, but your subconscious field can actually bring in 10,000 movies at one time. And so it's just being aware of what you are consciously and unconsciously seeing. So yeah, the reticular activating system is such a beautiful tip to the spear into the big wide open space of
Yeah, because we can control it. And that's the nice thing. So often, listen, guys, I went through a decade worth of anxiety, depression, health problems. I had low self esteem growing up. Like, I don't want anyone to look at me and be like, oh, she's got it all figured out. Her life's perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. You came here as a human soul, as a being, to discover, to grow, to expand into joy. And part of growth is contrast. I am not exempt. No one's exempt. Sammy's not exempt. Like, I struggled and had a lot of challenge, which brought me to this work. It's because I was so dark and so deep. And I know, Sammy, you've gone through dark periods. I know everyone on this feed and everyone who's going to watch has gone through or grown through some sort of challenge or struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side of that, this brought me to this work. This is why I got so freaking like jazzed up about the mind, because I'm like, what the F is going on in my mind? That like I feel so freaking out of control. 10 years worth. Didn't feel good in my body. Nothing. Like I was like, this is before the NFL. This is before I understood the power of our dreams. And when we have a soul desire, like I was just kind of humdrum going through life. Like, here's how I know law of attraction and the RAS works. It's because all I focused on was illness and fear and not good enoughness. That's why as soon as I learned this, I'm like, holy crap, this stuff works. I just did it to the negative for 10 years.
Totally right.
And I'm not, and listen, I still go through challenges. I am, what do you call it? Then you are too, Sammy. We're the product of the teachings. Don't just say this because it sounds good to teach. It's like, no, I live it every day. Even last night I was growing through something. I'm like, having to do my own process.
Yeah, we definitely grow through a lot of these things. It's so funny. We're like, dang, so much work.
But thank God we have these tools. Thank God we have the community and the friends and the soul family. And for those who are jumping on, who I don't know if you shared the wisdom mastermind.
We have. I mean, a lot of people know about it. I mean, it's something that we get to share more and more as we move on. But yeah, I mean, it's all one big, family. It's all one big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, shifting my consciousness, attracting community, and being able to create my dreams has changed my life. Like, and I mean, it's the thing that brings more joy in, I think, is like understanding how powerful you are and to empower yourself. So that I walked around disempowered for many years, and it sucks. I'm not going to lie. I'd much rather feel empowered. And not that I have to control everything. In fact, I used to need to control everything because I felt so scared and needed to like control people and situations and have everything perfect. And honestly, learning these things has helped me release a lot of control. So I know that resonates with a lot of people out there listening right now.
Without question.
So back to alignment, the fourth step. Coming into alignment is how you feel. Get clear about how you think you're going to feel when you have whatever it is you desire, whatever you're manifesting. Ask yourself why. Why do I want? the relationship, the money, the health, the business, the whatever it may be, the family, the child, the why do you want it? When you know your why power activates an emotion in you. When you're like, man, I want it because it's going to light my soul up. I'm going to have the impact of what I can do with the money is I can have life experiences. I can travel. Like when you start knowing why you want something, that helps you indicate the feelings that you are going to have when you have it. And here's the magic in this alignment. You want to write this down, write down the alignment part, write down the feelings, because it's your job every day to put yourself in that emotional state. That's your power. You can change your state instantly, or even over a course of 10 minutes or an hour, or even a day. Like you can change how you feel by what you focus on. And so getting clear about what the feeling is for the end result, you start feeling that now. Another way to say it is vibrate that, because when you feel an emotion, you're putting out a frequency, you're vibrating it. You're also telling your Raz what to focus on. And so there's this alchemy that comes together that brings things into your reality. Number one, you're going to start seeing it more. Number two, magnetically, you're literally going to start bringing things that will blow your mind into your life.
That's so awesome.
And I know a lot of you have experience with this. And even if you don't, like for me, I did it in the negative. So I was like, oh God, no, this totally works. Now I just have to tweak some things and like I can do it in the positive. Sammy, you have examples. I know all of you on this call at some point have an example about where you have put focus on something, or you didn't have any resistance to it. You got excited about it. That's an aligned feeling, excitement, joy, appreciation, right? So, and feel free, drop in the comments. What's something you've manifested in your life that you kind of use this process? We'd love to hear anything. Like it's fun to share manifestations because it raises everyone's belief, and that's
absolutely.
So. Okay, step 5, after alignment, after you've written down the feelings of how you're going to feel and why you want this, step 5 is action, inspired action. And what I mean by that is once you've got this flow going and you're writing in your journal, you're writing, you're accepting where you're at, you're acknowledging the challenge and the contrast that's showing itself to help you get clear, you're clear about your aim, you're understanding the alignment and the feelings, and you're starting to put yourself into those feelings. Now you take inspired action. If you get an idea, a genius like idea pops into your head to go to a coffee shop, or go clean out your closet, or go book that trip. It may not make logical sense. You don't have to worry about that. Just trust that if it feels right. I mean, I told the story yesterday when I was manifesting my soulmate, my twin flame. Instead of like, I had focused on it for like 2 years. And then one day I got the hit to go buy some new things and spruce up my apartment. And then from there, it lit my soul up. And then I was like, oh, I should start dancing again. I used, dance classes. And then from there, all of a sudden, next thing you know, I'm auditioning for the San Diego Chargers cheerleaders. And I make it to finals. And then in the last bit of that, I said to my higher self, God, universe, source, whatever resonates with you, higher power, I said, if this is in my highest and best good, I really want my divine partner, my twin flame, my soulmate in my life. This is going to be a large time consumption if I make the team. I'm in the finals. If this is in my highest and best good, then let it work out. So I had no attachment. I got cut, and then I met Dave a week or 2 later. So you never know what's going to lead you to your manifestation. Trust that your higher self knows, that has a broader perspective, your soul, your spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Okay? And so take inspired action. Sammy, what are some fun inspired actions you've taken that led you to magic?
Man, the first one was taking the leap of faith when I was first asked to go to A-Fest, because I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to get there. It was just like a super turbulent time in my life. So I didn't even know if I was going to go. And so I that was a big leap of faith as an inspired action. And then that turned into a big snowball, which is where I'm at today. So that was like probably one of the big inspired actions that I took like 9 years ago. So that was a huge one. And then probably before all that, an inspired action, I used to notice like when I was playing tennis, like I'd always just have my tennis racket and I would just act like I was playing guitar all the time. I was like, oh, I want to play guitar. I want to play guitar. And then finally, I don't know, I must have been like junior or senior in high school. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just start playing the guitar. And then that little inspired action, you got to watch your body sometimes. So I was like, I think you really should be, I think being a musician's in my blood. And that was something that I didn't really notice until many years later. I think, and I chuckle back on that. Like, I don't know how many times my dad would be like, are you here? What's going on? So get yourself back. So yeah, those two little things led me into the inspired action of music for sure, and then diving deeper into being an entertainer. So yeah, but yeah, those are just two. But look how big those are. Yeah,
I know, and look at where it led you. And so sometimes we don't know, but action is key. Like you're gonna want to take action. There's just like once you do this process. Like we did this call yesterday, and one of the gals on the call, we did kind of a simulator with her. We walked her through, and on the call, all of a sudden, all this inspired action started coming towards her.
Yeah,
what she could do. Like people were, like just the ideas were showing up through other people. And be open. Sometimes your inspired action comes through an idea or a thought. We call it a download, kind of computer speak, but an idea pops into your mind, and you're like, oh, I should do this, or this feels fun right now. Like you may not know. Another time it could come through a billboard sign, a song on the radio. You could be walking and you'll hear someone say something that then lights you up. Truly, the magic starts to ignite when you start doing this process, because the universe, your higher self, your soul is going to be giving you messages and sending you guidance, and just take inspired action on that. Maybe you get an idea for a business that you've never thought of. You wouldn't even thought you'd go down that path, but you did it anyway.
That's so great.
Yeah.
So, and then we're coming up on the last one. Recap after this one too on the 6th, but I know we're on the 6th one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would love to see if there's some people out there, some folks out there that would love for them to maybe walk through an example of how to use this practice, these 6 steps. So I know you're on the 6th one.
Yeah. Yep. So 6. So the 6th and final step for manifesting anything you desire, for attracting and creating what you want in your life, is to release attachment to what it is you want, which sounds counterintuitive. I know you're probably like, Michele, what the hell? Here I have this. I've built up all this momentum and energy of what I choose and what I desire. And now you're saying to release attachment? Well, here's why. Release the attachment to how it's going to look, when it's going to show up, what it has to look like. Like, still have your desire, but release the attachment, because in our small mind, we think it's this way. But the broader perspective could bring in other things that help match your feeling. So release attachment, go into appreciation. Appreciation is a feeling. It's a state of being. And fun. Those two things are the simplest way. It's like, I always like to drill down, reverse engineer, make it simplified. Like, if there's nothing more that you can take away, get clear about what you want, and then put yourself in an emotional state of appreciation, gratitude, thankfulness, fun. Actively seek out things that are fun and enjoyable, that light your soul up, because that's most likely the frequency or the feeling, the alignment that is going to be what you're going to feel when you actually attract that goal or dream. So if you start vibrating that now, appreciation, fun, you don't have an attachment to when or how or who, you just allow yourself to be in the feeling of it's done, it's happening, I'm working towards it. Everything is conspiring on my behalf. Golden opportunities are showing up for me. I'm going to continue to follow my flow and follow the feeling, but go into appreciation. That's going to anchor you in the now moment, which your point of power is right now. Not yesterday, not in the past, not in the future. You can use your mind, your emotions, your feelings, your Raz right now. And when you're in appreciation, you're thankful for what is or what has been. You can be thankful for what is or what has been, but you're anchoring into the now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's awesome. it makes more sense today, even though I practice this all the time. You know, I've got a vision board, I've got life books, and I've got, you know, mind movies and stuff like that. It just is great to hear it repeated back. You know,
Yeah, it's a good reflection.
It makes more sense every time you listen to it.
And I know a lot of people probably do these things. So a lot of people on the call may already be writing things down and having the vision boards. And so it's nice that you all attracted this impromptu interview that we decided yesterday. We were like, let's do this live. It's like, cool. It's just another sign from your higher self, the universe, infinite intelligence, God force, whatever it may resonate, that you're on the right track. That you already know this. This is just a reminder, just remembering who you are, that you don't have to struggle and beat your head against the wall and be like the fly that keeps knocking its head on the glass pane when the door is open right behind it. Like, I've done that. I was just doing that a week and a half ago in business. Sammy knows. I was just and like, I got to figure this out. And I got to it put me super in just this like old, crunchy, not fun energy. And then I literally turned to Dave and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I know how to harness the power of my mind and the universal success principles and focus. I know how to do this. Why am I like, so I brought out my book and the process I did. So I'll kind of walk you through this process and we can go out to questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Mike Vargas, there's a bunch of great people that are on here. I wanted to kind of
do a shout out.
Some amazing folks in Denver, and we've got Jen and Hayden, Damien, Jake in Austin, Brad, Costanzo. Hi, buddy. But we are going over the 6 steps to manifesting anything in your life, and with Michele, Ariana, my super amazing homie. For those of you guys just kind of joining in with us, it's been I love this because it's so much. It seems so out there, and it is so funny. Like, when I first heard about this, like, I used to watch The Secret, and of course that movie has been, you know, hailed as a great first, you know, introduction into this whole practice. There's so much more to it, right? It's not like, okay, I want a bike, and a bike shows up. However, in some weird respects, that does kind of happen. But there's a lot of intention. There's a lot of steps that you can take to expedite and to, I guess, monitor what's going in and what's inside so that you can bring those things to fruition in a more concise, and also leave yourself open to what the universe has for you, because the universe has so much more. God has so much more in store for you than you could possibly think for yourself. And I love what you're doing with these 6 steps that just really enhances the ability to put this into practice, but then release the attachment and understand that there's so much more, right?
Totally. And you're deliberately walking yourself through a process and a system that, you know, we build. When we have certainty, it breeds confidence. And when we have confidence, it creates more clarity. And it's like, there's a snowball effect that happens. When I say snowball, I look out the window and it's snowing here in Denver. It was 80 degrees 3 days ago. I'm like,
what? Ew.
I know.
That's why I'm in California, my friends.
So it's nice to have a go-to process, and that's why I like to share it. And just to recap the 6 steps. Whatever you're wanting to manifest, accept where you're at right now, accept the situation or circumstances that you're in, accept it with love and kindness and compassion for yourself and others. Acknowledge the challenge or contrast that you might be growing through that is giving you clarity to help you formulate this. Step 3, get clear about your aim. What do you desire? What do you choose? You have all this clarity of either what you prefer or don't prefer. Write it down, acknowledge it, either be general with it or go specific about what you want with no attachment. Just flirt with it, have fun with it. Whatever you write down in your journal or on your paper, let that be your magic like canvas, and the pen's your wand, and you get to like create. Don't let the little I call it not your cheerleader, I call it your fear leader. Don't let the fear leader voice you. Your cheerleader's like, yeah, you could do it. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're badass. And the fear leader is like, what the F you think you're doing? You can't do that. There's no way. Like, it's all the junk and the criticism and the judgment and the doubt and the disbelief that does pop up. It pops up for me. So I 1000% no. It's just part of the human condition. It pops up for everyone. How to manage that is the empowering spot. So you want to write down in the positive what you do desire for your aim. Step 4, align. Come into alignment. What's the feeling that you're going to have when you have your end result, and why do you want it? When you have the feeling, when you know clearly the feeling you think you're going to have when you hit your goal or you attract what you want, you can start deliberately putting yourself in that emotional state now. You don't have to wait till the lover comes, till the money's pouring in, till the health is better. You can choose joy right now. Because here's the bottom line. Anytime we want something, it's usually not because of the thing itself. It's because we think we're going to feel a certain way when we have it. So if you already know that and you're clear about the feeling and the alignment, where you align your belief and your emotions around your desire and you're in harmony, you can start feeling that today. You could pet your cat or your dog, or you could go travel with friends and like feel that vibe now as you're manifesting the thing that you want, right? And then step 5, take inspired action. Any thoughts, ideas, prompts that come up that are inspired, even if they don't seem relevant or related, do it. Follow the feel good. And then step 6, release attachment, go into appreciation, the feeling of appreciation. Be thankful every day, every moment, as often as you can, authentically, and have fun. So those are the 6 steps.
So that's it. That's just the basic 6 steps. So brilliant.
But I can walk through something. So if you wanted to go out and ask a question for someone, or I can walk through the example of what I did a week and a half ago, or something with you, whatever.
Let's see. Some folks are jumping on late, but is there anybody, Beverly, Jake, Jason, anybody out there right now that is looking to possibly switch? I mean, we're all looking to enhance and improve some part of our life in general, and looking to obviously manifest some stuff. Is there anybody that has a specific example of something that they would like us to kind of walk through the 6 steps with? And while we're waiting for that to populate, if somebody does come up with that, why don't you just run through a simple example of one that you did? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what I did the other week was I was kind of hitting some crunchiness in business. It was getting like just a lot of efforting, a lot of struggle stuff. And so I was like, you know what? Step 1, accept where I'm at. I'd been in the business for 8 years, and I had picked up some habits that weren't supportive of me, mindset, beliefs that weren't supportive. So I'm like, I accept where I'm at. I'm accepting that I'm kind of struggling with this, and I'm having to move through this next level of my business. So step 1, I went into acceptance. I just felt the feeling of being like, I am where I am, and that's okay. Step 2, I acknowledged the contrast or the challenge that I was facing, because it was giving me clarity. So I took out a pencil, or it may have been a black ink pen, and on a random sheet of paper, I just wrote what I didn't want. I'm like, okay, I'm tired of, and again, I'm giving myself the space. I'm not an advocate to hang out in what I don't want, but I am an advocate to help people just give themselves permission to feel and acknowledge whatever's coming up. Don't try to brush it under the positivity carpet. That's not what we're in the business of. Empowerment is not.
Oh man, I used to do that all the time too.
Yeah, me too.
I would just be like, oh, no, it's totally fine. Everything's good. I'll totally make this money. I'll totally get, and then you just brush over all the bullshit. I was like, wait. You can, and I appreciate you saying that. You should acknowledge and take time to realize when things are out of alignment and not working. Totally. When you're like, dude, you are not taking care of business. So let us reframe and get yourself back to that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, exactly. Because positivity is awesome. You can train your brain to go into a positive, optimistic state of mind. That's excellent. But you cannot suppress, repress, and have unexpressed emotions. It'll bite you in the ass. I learned that the hard way. And so if you are feeling something, let yourself feel it. If it's we'll call it a negative emotion, your emotions, Dave likes to tell me this, your emotions, like you came here as a human to experience the range of emotions. Don't deny yourself feeling, because all an emotion is, it's just a chemical release in your brain. It's the physical equivalent of a thought. When you have a thought or you experience something, you formulate an opinion and it releases an emotion. An emotion actually just moves through your body pretty, I don't know how many seconds it takes, but it's just a chemical drip that connects to your cells. and it locks into your cellular makeup and you feel something. It's a vibration and it shifts. When we hold on to emotion, when we anchor it into thoughts, or we really ruminate over it and keep bringing it up, that's when it like plagues us for days, weeks, months, sometimes years or decades. So feel what's coming up, acknowledge. So I acknowledged the contrast and I acknowledged what was bothering me in the business realm. And also, once I did that, that gave me, I also wrote down some positive things like, okay, well, here's the clarity that's starting to bloom. So then I went to step 3 and took out my journal and I wrote down my aim. What is it that I desire? And I just kind of, you could write it in bullet form fashion. You could write it as a paragraph. I just started riffing. Like, I can read you like the first couple of sentences so that people, because I know yesterday someone had a question. Katie had the question about, could you give us an example? And so it's helpful to kind of get the essence of like how to structure this. So I wrote down for my aim, I wrote down, thank you, universe. I choose to manifest a badass, light leader, aligned business partner, agency, or advocate who does all my back-end technology and supports me fully in the social media realm so that I can be in my full expressive state. And then I wrote in feelings, what the emotions are. So like I wrote paragraphs, but in other times, like when I was manifesting Dave, my partner, I wrote down just bullet points. So you could do either way, right? So that was my aim. I went into the aim. Then I went into step 4, alignment. So I flipped the page, and on the next step, I wrote the twin flame soulmate business relationship that I am manifesting now is going to be perfect for us. This is how I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel light. I'm going to feel ease. I'm going to feel joy, aligned, on purpose, supported, prosperous, capable, successful, happy. Like I really dug in and felt in. And mind you, you're commanding your RAS. You're putting focus on this. This is a great exercise, but it starts to give you the clarity of how you're going to want to feel. So I did that. That was step 4, alignment. I wrote down why I wanted it to, because I choose to create inspiration and empowerment for self and others to impact millions, make millions, live luxuriously, give generously, connect fully, have the lifestyle that I choose, as well as emulate that and be a model for that for others. So I'm clear about why I wanted it and my feelings. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then I moved on to action, which inspired action. It came to, and actually here's the fun part, guys. When you get clear and you start doing this process, don't freak out when stuff just starts coming to you. Like all of a sudden you might get a phone call or someone might email you. Like that's what happened. Two of our dear family members are on this live call, Maggie and Zen, reached out to me. And they were like, oh my gosh, we may have some solutions. And then I had prompted another idea to get energy work done. And so I called one of our energy healer friends and hired her. So you never know what's going to come, but I took inspired action to that. Now I'm still in the process of manifesting this and it's perfect. I'm still getting clear, but again, this clarity that you're going to start to formulate within yourself and the focus that you're putting towards is creating the RAS, and it's creating confidence. And then I released it. I said, thank you, God, thank you, universe, for the perfect aligned business partnership. I went into appreciation and having fun. I flew to San Diego last week, had a ton of fun with friends, and just was inspired to do different things. So hopefully that's a good example to.
Oh, I think it's a great example. And I love the idea of when it comes to inspired action, 2 of the things that really resonated with me, especially with this, is accept where you are, and then really acknowledging the contrast between where you are and where you want to be. And so an example for me, there was a time, not even that long ago, where I was literally just the wedding DJ. It was 5 years ago. And that's all I did. It was just weddings and mitzvahs and just things. And I was like, oh my God, this is super not where I totally want to be. And I looked at that, and what I really was manifesting was being on main stages for the most impactful and powerful people on the planet. And so what I started to really lean into was, where was I between those 2 places? And that acknowledgement and the contrast between the 2, right? I had built up the skill set, but I just started putting out there, I want to stay connected to the most powerful people, the most influential people in my space, and really just attaching to them. And what that allowed me to do inside where I already was really hone my craft so that I could become even more valuable in certain circumstances where I didn't even realize those people were watching. And they were. And that's what happens is the universe is watching. The universal intelligence brings these things around to you. People have been asking me so much lately, especially young performers. How did you get so far up? And how do you get flown around? And how does this happen for you? And I can only say it is a ton of hard work, but intentional hard work with a vision of what I want and a vision of who I want to be and the feeling of playing for those people on my terms, like you were saying. And then letting go of that and taking action that's fun. Like I went from, I was like, just have fun. What is the most fun I could have playing?
Yeah.
Like, what would that look like? And I just started doing that in my normal spaces. And that just exuded, this magnetism for me at least. So I love that you've really taken all of these, compressed them into a 6-step framework. I'm thinking right now we're coming on about 11 o'clock there in old Denver. Troy Allen says, I love what this box of shoes has to say. Hey, Troy. Some amazing people on here right now. But I would just say that for where we're at right now, at this time in life, there's really no reason to not try some of these practices. Wouldn't you agree?
Totally.
To just lean into some of these things. What would be? Can you do me a favor? Do you have the ability to type into the comments for what you're on, or can I do it? I really want to link up where you can be attached to, and I know you sent it to me earlier, and I wanted to just put that in there.
So this is the Facebook page.
Okay.
So actually, I probably should put Facebook.
And it's kind of bittersweet. I'm going to let you know that Michele works with a majority of women, helping women really unlock their power and really step into the next evolved version of themselves quickly and succinctly. Guys, we can get on her list, but she predominantly does work with women, which is totally cool. Maybe that would be our next. Maybe I'm your aligned business partner. We're gonna have to bring out the male version of this thing or something. Totally. Who knows what we'll do with you as a performer, right? But
and everyone can download this. So men and women. I just put it in. Download the free power visualization. See if it comes up in the comments. Absolutely. It's empoweryourlife.com/free_audio. You actually, you know what? You need the HTTP, I think.
That's cool. We'll put it in the box at the end too. I'll put it in the description, so no problem at all. We can do that.
Okay. Yeah, because anyone, that would be good. Oops, the live there. Yeah, I do predominantly have a focus on women. I do still work with men as well, but there's been a shift of focus as of last year. So a lot of my correspondence kind of gears towards women, but what I just put in the comments, and we'll put the HTTP one because that I don't think you can click on without it. That's a great free download for anyone who's watching right now. It's a free power visualization. So if you are in the space where you're wanting to manifest, attract, magnetize, create the next dream, goal, vision of yourself, it's a great 15-minute audio visualization that I created. It's kind of like a meditative visualization that walks you through and actually taps into your higher self to gain access to what you truly desire. And it's free. You can download it. And that's open for anybody. So definitely take advantage of that if you want some support.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I think, well, I'm definitely putting that in the earbuds on the flight. So I can't wait to have that with me as I make my way across the Pacific here soon. But I think at this, for what we have covered. And man, you do such a great job. I love listening to this. I know that it'll be so valuable to be on this page. And a lot of people have some questions and some clarifying things they want to maybe flush out with you. Please reach out to Michele or myself, and we will directly connect you with ourselves or with her team on whatever you guys may have questions on. I think this is one of my favorite topics. Obviously, it is a little bit more on the side of experimental thinking, but I mean, I'm looking here at a shelf full of journals for myself personally that are just filled with visions of things that I've been wanting to manifest in my life. And I mean, Michele made it. You've manifested so many amazing things in your life with the power of the pairing of faith and intention and a lot of hard work. Let's just be honest. It's not a sit back in your chair and just be like, oh God, yes, bring it to me and channel the mothership. It doesn't work like that.
You're gonna want to work. You're gonna want to work. Is just it's energy and action. Like when you're excited and lit up, just like emotion is energy and motion. When you're taking action, it's like the painter who has the paints in front of her or him and a canvas and then just stares at it. It's like, no, you're going to want to pick up the damn paintbrush and bring your creation to life. And however that may look, a lot of times I think people get stuck in the paradigm or the belief that I have to work hard. And that may support them. And then they'll get results. Whatever you believe to be true will be your reality. You'll prove yourself right every time. And so the nice thing is you can choose to say, I'm going to work from a place of ease and flow. Hey, listen, I'm not going to lie. I work hard, but I work smart and I love it. Yeah. And when I'm excited and lit up, I mean, that it's a game changer. So you don't have to kill yourself doing it, but you're going to want to paint on the canvas. You're going to want to take action and pick up the paintbrush.
That's awesome. Well, it looks like there's some great dialogue that has gone on here with the group. And I bet you it is now, well, at least in some of my crews, it is a beautiful, sunny, 65-degree day out here in Carlsbad and Cali. So I am going to pack and get ready for my trip to go perform for the Mavericks and Richard Branson. Still seems very weird to me. It'll settle in probably one. It always settles in as soon as I go through security and I'm sitting on the plane. And then I get like the vibration. I was like, oh shit, here we go. So
relish it. Ride the wave. Relish the emotion.
Yes, thank you so much.
Not that you do this, but sometimes people dampen their excitement. But it's like, no, milk it, ride it, let that feeling overcome you and like be in total bliss. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, so I was up all night just like having fun, finishing out another online product that we're getting ready to launch while I'm gone, and it was just like looking at my suits and like looking at my suitcase, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be one of those trips. And this came about, and I do want to say this has been one of my favorite things to do, is to really shine the light on other people's work and magic. And thank you for letting us take some time with you on this Saturday morning, and you take some time with us to share what you are doing and the amazing work that you are delivering to this world. If I can be of any more support to any of the folks listening, please put your visions, your ideas, your business, whatever, in the comments, and we would love to share those with everyone too. And for us, this is just the beginning. I promise you we'll be doing this a lot more. We have so much stuff that has been working for us, and so why not share it? I think it's great. So Michele, thank you so much for being here. I love you, and it's just been a great way to get ready, because this is how I got my start in getting to these crazy little islands, just as I got my start into getting to you. So thank you so much for.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, I love you too.
And everyone out there, thanks for joining and watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I love you, and then I'll see you from Necker Island, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.